Hello, and welcome to Mass Reflect, a podcast about Mass Effect and its politics. And it's an exciting day because we're starting Mass Effect 2.
Finally.
Finally.
The best Mass Effect.
Yes. I'm
We
your
can start it.
co-host, Beatrice, and with me as always is my co-host.
Rob.
So yeah, this is Mass Effect 2, the best Mass Effect in both of our recollections.
Yep. Also, I realized playing this that this was the Mass Effect that I'm the furthest out from having played at all
Oh.
since we started this. Because I think 5 or 6 years ago played halfway through Mass Effect 1. And of course, didn't go back to that was the first time I went back to Mass Effect at all since finishing 3. So I don't think I've played through Mass Effect 2 since I've finished 3.
I think Mass Effect 2 might also be the one I haven't replayed for the longest time.
It's pretty crazy to think.
Yeah, well, the one I played most recently is Mass Effect 3 because that's the kind of person I am. You all should judge me.
I was so burned by 3 that I just haven't touched it.
Oh, me too. But
I haven't touched the entire series except to try to play a little bit of 1 and then play the Andromeda game.
yeah, but I'm the sort of person who'll just go back to a thing and pick at it if I dislike it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. Look, I wasn't advocating for this, but it's the way I live.
So
I'm
did we
fine
do
with
an
it.
outline or are we just flying off the hip?
Yeah, no, I did an outline. It is 3 pages long. I can't find the word count. I'm not used to Microsoft Word anymore, so... But whatever. It's verbose. I cannot be brief in these things.
So I took some notes.
Yeah.
The thing is, I had to replay the intro sequence 3 times. The first time was because I loaded it up and the game would not work. It was running, but my controller wouldn't connect for some reason.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, that's weird because on the launch thing in the PC version, it was working fine. And it worked fine. I never had any trouble in Mass Effect 1. Well, I guess I'll just have to play it with mouse and keyboard. And the frame rate was awful.
Oh no.
I'm running it at 2K, 1440p, just because of my PC build. That's what it can handle, with a high frame rate. And it was choppy, below 20 frames per second. I ended up fixing it, so then I restarted it. So I got midway through that intro sequence before I fixed it.
Oh wow.
Got to the end of the intro sequence, realized I hadn't imported my character and instead created a new one. So then I quit out, imported my character, and replayed it again.
Yeah, I had to see this twice as well, or a few times as well. But that was because I had a friend over, and they wanted to. Sorry, I should say we wanted to play a game where we could customize a character, just because it was a dumb thing to do, and
you were like, "What about this game, Mass Effect 2?"
exactly because I wanted to see the comic.
Right.
And yeah, that comic was interesting. It gave a real... I understand why I thought about Mass Effect 1 the way I did. It highlights all of the points in a very interesting way.
So, from my memory, does it even touch on any of the AI stuff at all?
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah. Because I could see that as having an effect on how you might have gone into 3 as well. Because now,
Yes.
I'd have no excuse. I played through Mass Effect 1 4 or 5 times before I ever played 3. So the fact that I didn't just pick up how overly prevalent that stuff was seems crazy.
Yeah, in hindsight, I don't get it. But yeah.
So
Well, I should say, I did play Mass Effect 2 on the PS3 for the most part, but I I played Mass Effect 1 when it came out on the Xbox 360.
Oh, that's right. I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, my little brother was the one who wanted that game.
So
I thought it looked like nerdy Halo, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Halo. I was such a terrible child.
now you love Halo.
I love Halo. Halo is a great video game series.
I remember meeting you and you were like, Halo sucks. And now you've come around on it, so which makes me happy.
I also hated Ava.
Well, I still hate Ava.
I know you still hate Ava. I've changed.
Rebuild Films coming out in next week.
I know.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm going to a show that night, but I'm very excited to watch it the next day.
So I will say, I think that overall, the beginning of Mass Effect 2 is actually fairly strong. I think the whole intro sequence to your ship being attacked, to being destroyed, and you like falling into space, is incredibly weak.
I think that too. I also don't actually get why your character had to die and couldn't just have been on a mission for a few years or like been missing in action.
I feel
in a
like
more ambiguous way.
So much of the beginning of this game is we need to reset the clock for Mass Effect 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or reset the table, I should say.
It feels this is gonna onboard a lot more people. We should just start fresh by killing Commander Shepard and immediately bringing them back in a slightly different status quo, but like not really a different enough status quo that this couldn't have been achieved by much more mundane means that would probably have actually been more satisfying.
Yeah. I don't know if they're just trying to like have it be this is the dark middle chapter.
Yeah.
But the ending's not dark enough, so let's have a really dark beginning. Let's do reverse Empire Strikes Back. What if Luke got his hand cut off at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back?
Then it has no emotional stakes.
And then the next scene, he just has a new hand again.
Yeah, that's. You see how that.
And now he works with the Empire.
And and at the end, he defeats a giant version of Darth Vader.
Yes.
Mecha Darth Vader.
Mecha Darth Vader. No, this. Yeah. It just maybe I don't know if it's that they lacked, like, if they didn't think people would come with it. A lot of the beginning of this game is being like, Cerberus is great, actually.
Yes, it really is.
And really, like, what is weird about it is that they completely rewrite the story of Cerberus.
Except I would say they don't, because in this codex entry that I have up, it doesn't make them out to be good guys.
No, it doesn't, but it doesn't make them what they were in the first game, which was a splinter group of the Alliance military.
Yeah, look,
it completely takes out that part.
No, it now makes them like a cutout, I would argue.
Yeah.
You're right, though. It does, like, make that less explicit, and unless you have my weird deep state CIA espionage reading of this world, that might not be apparent. But also, it's just it's so weird.
But even, like, forgetting that, like, not forgetting, but ignoring that, like, it ends on a point of Shepard dying.
Yeah.
It is odd to me, like, it is this long action sequence where there is absolutely no gameplay, except for one sequence where you run across, like, the bridge of the ship as it's being destroyed.
Yeah, and then, like,
there's
in
no
the
shooting.
Middle... sorry.
Oh, it's just, it's a sequence where it would make sense for it to be like, all right, let's onboard people with the gameplay here, and... like, this could be like a fun action scene to start the game off on before we open up to, like, alright, setting the stage and having conversations. But, like, no, instead there's no gameplay, your ship gets destroyed, and then when you wake up, you are in an action sequence to tutorialize you and have a bit of action before they spend time setting the table.
Yeah, it felt very exhausting, to be honest with you. I was like, I've had too many action scenes, BioWare.
I didn't forget that this was a part of the game, but this definitely feels like they're trying to rush through the beginning of this game to get you to this space where things are open, because you definitely reach that point earlier than Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, you do.
It's like 3 or 4 hours, depending on how long you take. Maybe even 5 hours, like before you get to the space where things open up.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it was a cool 2 hours, and then it was, hey, you've got your ship, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't quite remember how long it was, but it wasn't long. Which I guess is why it felt even more exhausting. I was like, I've had so many combat encounters.
Yeah. So,
and weirdly,
yeah,
speaking of Halo, the section where you're on the station housing the Lazarus Project weirdly felt like the opening of Halo 2 to me.
It did as well. Except less epic, because they can't have as many enemies or as many set pieces.
Or as, like, epic of a thing as Master Chief jumping about in zero gravity.
You know what's crazy? I also thought about the beginning of Halo 2 during the sequence when they were being attacked by the ship. When the ship was destroyed, I was like, man, it's bad that you can't play through this sequence in any meaningful way, but also it's even worse that Shepard just goes out like a punk like that. Like, I was just sitting there being like, where's my let's give the Covenant back their bomb moment. Like, if Shepard went out doing something cool like that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I love that the two characters you see die here are Presley to, like, give it some impact, and Shepard, it's like, oh, cool, I'm on the level of the Navigator.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess we both just navigated the ship, huh? He always took the helm? Oh, gods. Was I not important?
It's also hard to imagine, like, this game would be so cool if instead of it being Shepard as the main character, Shepard died at the beginning, and then you're Liara. And you play, like, the first 10 hours as Liara, making your own choices as Liara.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you play. You know what? I think the actual beginning of this game should just be you working for Cerberus and there not being, like, an explanation, and all of your squad mates being hurt and betrayed because you disappeared 2 years ago.
Yeah. And you don't know why. I guess, like, I want the
I don't know that.
I guess what I want is the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 for my Mass Effect 2 story. I want us to be Roxas. I want it to be Shepard X.
Oh, gods.
Zerdops or whatever. I want to be Zerdops. You look like you're Shepard, except you have blonde hair no matter what you look like.
Oh,
and
no.
everyone's like, you're not Shepard.
You're
and
not
you're like,
Shepard
who's Shepard?
at all.
And then you wake up the real Shepard.
Of course I'm not Shepard. I'm Ajax.
So instead of actually dying, Shepard wakes up in a weird sequence that is modeled after RoboCop.
Yeah,
where
it
he, like, looks at his hands. It's RoboCop is the thing.
Yeah.
They just wanted to make Shepard RoboCop.
I mean, I don't know. I did not like this whole Lazarus Project thing.
No, it felt so unnecessary, and it was there to introduce Miranda, who's a character I really like, but and I like Jacob as well. I think Jacob gets a hard rap.
Yeah, Jacob is hard done by the creators.
Yeah, I feel like Jacob's not given enough for as much work that Jacob does in sort of, you know, humanizing your crew.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are some factors in that. Like, they did have Jacob, I think, not be re-romanceable in Mass Effect 3. He's instead with another character.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like Mass Effect 3 is a betrayal of all your relationships with the Mass Effect 2 characters.
Yeah, no, totally. It's like, oh, those things? We didn't treasure them.
They don't count for the Paramore achievement, guys, so...
Guys...
You should really just get back with,
Get back with Liara, Ashley, or Caden. I don't care which.
Yeah. Or one of our new characters.
Oh gods.
Um,
Yeah, one of our many new characters that you can suddenly date, which is weird.
so
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
That
you
was
wake up,
just a tangent about Mass Effect 3.
you're alive again.
Yeah.
You meet up with Jacob. You meet up with the doctor who brought you back to life, who then turned out to be the traitor, and Miranda kills him.
And it just shoots him. It's very funny to me that happens. Yeah, there is like a lot of both the medic and Miranda claiming the other is a traitor, and it being just very implicit that Miranda's obviously the one telling the truth.
Yeah.
Which
There's no for. It's weird because I really like Miranda as a character, but the way she's introduced is in a way to make you distrustful of her.
No,
except that there's no reason to be.
she's. I mean, she's honestly just introduced as like the henchman to a villain. It seems.
Yeah.
But like a villain who, for some reason, has noble intentions this one time, I guess.
I mean, this one time, I think the Elusive Man might be the one real hero of this world.
Oh wow.
I think my Shepard totally bought in on the Elusive Man at this point.
Oh fuck yeah.
Like, definitely shows doubts because the Cerberus has tried to kill him multiple times. But
Yeah. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, how did your what was your Shepard's like journey through this? Like,
I think like I started off hostile just because it's a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
But like my Shepard is somebody who responds to like being given authority.
Yeah.
And the Elusive Man has given him a lot of authority. And sort of recognize like Shepard's actions in a way that Shepard has not gotten from any other institution. Right?
Yes.
Like my Shepard's someone who believes, hey, we should all work together with, you know, the community. But like that is also part of like, and we need to get things done. You know, like the military is here to do the job. And like the intro of this game basically says that Shepard has been like sold downriver, is like sent doing like, you know, is not allowed to go after the Reapers.
It's a real stabbed at the back narrative, I won't lie to you, and this is kind of like the Free Corps.
And like Elusive Man shows up and is like, yeah, I believe you, Shepard. You and I know the real thing going on. Here's carte blanche for whatever you want. Yeah, you want a new Normandy? I got you that. Your favorite pilot? He's back too. Your crew? I'm gonna get you a better crew than last time.
Yeah. And yes, I had I think a quite different journey. My Shepard was immediately wary, but you know, she understood that this was the only reason she was back at it. She might as well go along.
Yeah.
So
is she still like somewhat wary of this?
Well, okay. So I think that again, because apparently this is now just a Mass Effect fan fiction show as well as a Mass Effect analysis podcast. I'm not complaining. I'm into it. Sorry.
No, that's fair. I mean, look, we're trying to roleplay in this world, so we have to, you know, we have to have characters with viewpoints on it.
I kind of have like come to that point about Mass Effect, that the reason I never really got the world is because I never made like a character who could really interact with it in any meaningful way, like on its terms.
Because I feel like so much of the time, all of the choices and the range on it are just very much, are you going to be the good guy or the bad guy here? You know, or like the good guy or the bad good guy.
Yes.
And so I kind of just wanted to be like, no, I wanted to make, I know we've talked about this with the first game, like I want to make decisions that feel like they come from somebody who lives in this world, you know?
Yes.
And who believes the message that everyone's saying, even though it's very clear nobody else does.
Yeah.
And so I think if he's someone who has taken like the Council and the Alliance on his face value, I think he would take the Elusive Man on his face value until he had reason not to.
That's fair. Well, my Shepard is a deep state operative. And so like when
Yes.
Jacob reveals that they're Cerberus, my Shepard's like obviously suspicious. But I took down these two pieces of dialogue because they're interesting to me. Um, Actually, one isn't that important. Sorry, cut that. I took down this piece of dialogue because it was interesting to me. This is Jacob about the elusive man. It was a code name the Alliance used for him. It kind of stuck.
Well,
To which I said, "Oh, so he's definitely just a deniable asset." And I get like the implication is that it's a code name that they used for him when they were like targeting him.
well, it apparently comes from a manifesto
Yes. Well,
that
like
the
it's
Cerberus wrote that he wrote around the time of the First Contact War.
yeah. It seems like this name for this folk name for this manifesto that like became used as a label for the Cerberus Kingpin because of like some bullshit.
But I got
Well,
the
because they
impression
use the
that he wrote it himself.
no. That is the implication of the game. I'm just saying that like the chain of events in like I don't know. Not assuming that he wrote it himself until like the game makes that clearer. But yeah. It's very very weird that it does assume that he just wrote it, to me at least.
Yeah. That it
'Cause it's
wasn't
like-
co-opted in any way.
Yeah, because it's like, no, this could just be like a thing that you latch on to because like, oh, great, this is a name for a thing I want to do anyways because of X, Y, and Z. Because it's also implied that he's just like some kind of rich industrialist or something, or like investor. It's not exactly clear to me yet. But he's just like independently wealthy of this.
Yeah, so
which again, I think points to deniable asset.
Yeah, I think I can see that. I still don't know because I think what threw me off was that they rewrote the backstory.
Totally.
For this, and that's what kind of makes. And like, but I wonder, right? Because we didn't get that from the Codex. That was a line of dialogue from somebody about who Cerberus was.
Yeah.
In the first game, and now I'm wondering which Codex we're getting because our Codex is like, is this a lot of language is similar to the one we had in the first game, but like we're getting a more detailed history of Cerberus. So are we getting the Cerberus Codex?
I think that's the thing. We're getting the dark the dark extranet Cerberus codexes. Oh god, it's so
I mean,
dumb.
it's interesting to me when like the elusive man straight up says like, oh, like when you ask him about Liara, he's like, no, she's working for the Shadow Broker right now, so that makes her a potential enemy. And that's not how the Shadow Broker was introduced to us in the first game either. Right? Remember, Captain Anderson's like, oh, the Shadow Broker's great. Yeah, he's just this independent information broker. Doesn't really take sides, and that makes him awesome. He doesn't have an agenda, you know. But like now we're seeing, no, there are two sides to this. One is the Shadow Broker. The other is the elusive man.
Yeah, and of course you don't want the Shadow Broker to get stuff that the elusive man wants, do you, Shepard? No. Why would you want that?
And I know we're gonna meet the Shadow Broker and do that whole sequence later. I just find it like we're seeing a much different perspective already, early on. In like small ways. And that's usually how we get these things in Mass Effect, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I feel like my character is maybe getting a little radicalized by Cerberus.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. Mine is not. Mine has a very jaundiced view of this whole thing, which is only confirmed in the holo call with the elusive man. When the elusive man says, a necessary precaution, not unusual for people who know what you and I know. And again, it's supposed to be about the Reapers, I guess.
No, I don't think it is.
No, I don't either. I think this is totally deniable asset moment.
I think that is the elusive man saying, hey, this call has to have never happened because, like, would be terrible for humanity if, like, Shepard needs to do stuff for humanity
Yes.
that the Council can't know about.
Of course.
And Shepard has been in the dark about the Council. About the Cerberus, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Shepard has been like, well, I've only ever seen the outside of Cerberus. It's time for Shepard to come in from the cold.
Oh my god.
You know.
No,
like,
okay.
This is
okay.
For
this
my
is your
Shepard.
Oh,
this
god.
is a promotion.
Oh, well, that's terrifying. No. This is a pit stop for my Shepard, because you know what's next? Well, the second we get off this immediate other mission that we have to go on.
I spent the whole game trying to get somebody into a position of power with the Council, just to basically also spend that whole game finding out that they actually have no power, and that they are just completely locked into this, like, strange, like, you know, three-way competition for power. And, like, now somebody is opening the door and say, all right, we're getting you into the real positions of power here.
That they're this wholly ineffectual and, like, utterly dysfunctional troika, because, like, there's one species that's great at espionage, and there's one species that's great at the economy, and there's one species that has all of the weapons. And they're tied to the people who are in control of the economy. But you know what? All of the people who make, like, the cultural products are of this other race that has, like, its own independent power base that's just enough to be threatening enough to the main one to not be worth destroying or fighting. So it's this unstable alliance.
There's a line in the Codex where it's like, well, the Turians know it would be worse for the other council races to be destroyed. There's no love between them, and there's no actual progress being made.
Nope.
And what we need is somebody who's willing to get the job done, and the elusive man is that person.
See, again, this is the problem that you're having. This is absolutely fine. This ineffectual troika is why I can have free reign throughout the Terminus systems. That's just, you know, like,
I want free sovereignty.
Reign. Yeah, no.
I just also want to be on the throne.
But see, my Shepard is already on the throne. Once they're done with all this bullshit, they're gonna get their Spectre status reinstated.
Yeah, and then what are you gonna do? Spend your time defending council space?
Oh, who? What? That's
against pirates?
I'm sorry, that is not what Spectres do, and 100% my Shepard was actually smuggling them weapons or drugs.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to get back
to further destabilize the Batarian regions.
I love the intro sequences. Like, Shepard has been sent out to wipe out pockets of Geth resistance. I'm on ethnic cleansing cleanup duty out here in the Terminus systems.
Absolutely.
I want to be the person to send other people on that job. I don't want to be doing this. And Elusive Man is giving me this opportunity to get into the real positions of power, to really see what's at stake here. Like, I'm going to deal with the Shadow Broker if that's what the Elusive Man wants, because then I'm going to get my former companion into the Shadow Broker position, and then I'm the one with the control over the Shadow Broker. And then I don't need Cerberus anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too. But again, I'm going to be a Spectre, which allows me to have carte blanche to do whatever I want. But also, I can't be blamed for anything. There's no blowback for me personally, just for the galaxy. And you know what? I can ride that out because I'll be rich from all of the independent investitures that I'll make.
You'll die long before the Reapers ever actually reach you, you know? It's like, really, you're just gonna F off to a planet on the edge where they're never gonna even get around to. You know? Just put yourself in a sleep pod afterwards.
Absolutely. Look. Or maybe I can harness the power of the Reapers somehow and become the Deep State. No, cut this.
Well, yeah, we'll have to get to the end of Mass Effect 3 to decide how it's ultimately all going to play out.
Or just bleep that out.
Yeah, so we meet the Elusive Man. He tells us, hey, in the 2 years you've been gone, you know, human colonies have been going missing. I want you to investigate. I'm giving you the money and resources you need to investigate this, you know.
Yes.
You go down, you meet up with your old companion Tali. There's been another recent attack. Basically, you and Tali meet up to find that there is another Quarian who was visiting this place as part of pilgrimage, who witnessed the whole attack. You find out that it is a group of insects named the Collectors. And I know this, but is it just implied that the Collectors were who took you out yet? Have we reached that point, or do we not know that?
I think it's implied. Can I read something, though? I don't exactly know what... No, okay, this is from, like, after you talked to the Elusive Man, when you then talked to Jacob.
Yeah.
And this is, like, I think his, like, past job with the Alliance. It was an Alliance initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction.
The Corsairs, yeah.
Technically, we weren't a part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules, but there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
It's
I love
shocking
that
to
like,
me
so many...
how much Black Ops is seen as, like, the best thing that, you know... Like,
it was supposed to be without rules, man. But there was so much red tape.
What were the rules that Jacob didn't want to follow?
I'm assuming it's the same ones that Garrus didn't want to follow.
Not be able to kill civilians.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that they call themselves Corsairs gives it this whole other implication. Like, oh yeah, like we could attack enemy positions, but we couldn't take what we wanted from them.
I mean, I would also argue it gives it a very colonial.
Oh yeah, totally.
Flavor.
I mean, basically, this is retaliation against pirates, right?
Yes.
So, and the Batarians. They're attacking Batarians, is what it comes down to, you know?
Absolutely. Oh, and here's another fun quote from that conversation. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. The old council was dead, and humanity took control of the new one. But nothing changed.
Oh, this is...
Politics...
I didn't get this.
I know. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different.
I just got like, oh yeah, but they're still continuing to not do anything. You know,
I felt like this was pretty juicy, actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad I killed the council.
Like, you killed the council, but it's just the same BS. Like,
of course it's the same BS. Bullshit. Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. I am the Joker now. My Rap Shepard is the Joker now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
My Shepard is, again, still just a complete spook. And honestly, all of this confirmed my thesis that this game is just, in fact, about espionage. It rules. Sorry.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. So you run into the Quarians, and you get, like, attacked by a giant mech that kills a bunch of them.
Yeah, they get wiped out by a mech.
Yeah.
We have mechs in this game now. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, it would be tighter if you could pilot them.
Yeah, I think they're just AI mechs, so it's not as good.
Yeah, it's like, look, it's like Giant Robo. It's just not as good as other mech things.
Yeah, so you find out that the collectors are using some sort of swarm to knock out...
yeah. You find out from
colonists. Oh, what?
You find out from, like, a Quarian who was with the colonists and managed to survive. And got, like, video of this attack.
Yeah. Was able to reconstruct video, because it gets wiped out by the collectors.
Yeah. And this is the scene that introduced the mechanic of, like, the Paragon and Renegade actions that are triggered by, like, hitting the right or left L2 or R2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. For me, it's LT or RT because I'm using an Xbox controller with my PC.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry. But yeah, left, right trigger, you know.
Yeah. This is an important part of Mass Effect that we didn't get in the first game.
Yeah, I did. It is an important part of Mass Effect. Especially because, like, all of these decisions always seem so radical after this one.
That's true. Like, this is a very light introduction to something.
And honestly, I like this a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember there being that many Paragon interrupts when it comes right down to it.
No, there are a lot of like, oh, can I blow shit? Can I be jokery?
Yeah, the Joker's gonna have a great time. Let me grab Shepard. I've got a lot of people to kick off of buildings.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a total paragon again.
Yeah.
But again,
I was
for
a Paragon.
all of the wrong reasons, and
I saw where that went.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a renegade for the right reasons.
I'm also gonna sometimes be a renegade because when it comes right down to it, again, I have no actual.
Yeah, no actual, desire to do good. Yeah, no, I mean that's
No moral
that is the
compass.
person who exists in Mass Effect.
Yeah. How can you want to do good in this world? It is a world that is utterly absent of good people.
So you found the fight with the mech to be a slog. I'm seeing. I got through it fairly quickly.
I am playing on like the dumb highest difficulty. But
I'm
maybe
playing
you
on
are
medium
too.
again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason.
I don't think as much as I like the combat in these games, I want to get through it.
No, I look. I realized I could probably 100% all of these achievements, and I was like, I almost want to do this, so I am going to try.
Fair enough. I didn't realize there was a difficulty achievement. Otherwise, I would have done that as well.
Yeah, there is. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned it. Or maybe there isn't, and I'm just
I will probably
being a
replay this game. I will probably replay this game. I remember there being for 2, and that's what stopped me. I would have gone 100% for 2 back in the day, except for the highest difficulty achievement.
Oh, okay.
But I thought they took those out because they didn't have it with 1, and there was 1 in the first game.
Well, maybe they did.
But I could be mistaken.
No, they might have taken it out, and maybe I'm doing this for no reason whatsoever. Jesus.
I see you and I made the same choice regarding Vita. We both allowed Tally to take her. What was your thinking on that, out of curiosity?
Oh, I don't really want I don't trust the elusive man or Cerberus that much. I kind of trust Tally because again, the Geth are space Israel.
I allowed Tally to take Vidor, and maybe now I'm rethinking it, but like my mentality on it's like, what are we gonna get from Vidor that we haven't already gotten? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like Vidor's gonna give us any more information about the attack or the colony. I'm now realizing that maybe we could have gotten information about the Quarians, but nobody presented that to me.
Look, that is the thing, and I don't want the elusive man to have that.
I mean, look, they're today's allies, but you never know tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, again,
yeah.
I'm literally we'll just get through this. Literally. Yeah, and then we have a debriefing with the elusive man.
Yeah.
And, I found it interesting that Shepard is the one who's a hologram here.
I think it looks cool, though. I think that's why it is. Because it just... the holograms look so much better in this game. I remember when I first played this game and saw the holograms, I was blown away by how cool they looked. It's just the holograms are better. The holograms in the first game sucked.
Yes, they did. These are much better. But
So
I think it's because
show that
it's
off
Martin
as much as
Sheen,
possible.
right?
Also, his performance is so good. I think they get a lot of great voice actors in this, but Martin Sheen just really... I just feel like he's actually sitting there with a cigarette delivering the lines. I like the Elusive Man a lot. I think he's one of my favorite characters in the series.
Yeah. Interesting.
And not considering where they end up going with him, but I just feel like in this game, he just exudes cool in a way that nobody does in the first game. He's the first cool character we meet in Mass Effect.
I just loved how you're still answering to some like figure of authority, and it's somehow even less democratic than the council.
Yeah, we get an info dump on the Reapers at this point.
Yes, we do. I didn't take any notes on that, and I'm sorry.
I don't. I think it's just recatching us back up, you know?
Yeah, it seemed, I was like, okay, I know all this. I'm not skipping it, but I could. I wouldn't miss anything. And then he gives you dossiers about your new teammates.
Yeah.
And tells you about your old ones.
If you ask, yeah.
Did you take any notes on this?
No. This is kind of
Okay.
beyond where I stopped taking, or I forgot to keep taking notes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't have too much to say on this. I think the thing we already mentioned about Liara working
Yes.
for the Shadow Broker, and the Shadow Broker being positioned in a different way than the first game was interesting. Otherwise, I feel like the Ashley description is the exact same one as the Kaden Alenko description.
Yes.
So Rex won, which is interesting.
Her file
but
is surprisingly well classified.
Same line, same exact line for Kaden. So we'll find out more about that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Rex returning to Tuchanka, trying to reunite the Krogan clans.
It's a big sea change for X.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't like that we don't see any of these characters prior to the destruction, except for Liara. I'm sure it's Ashley if you're male Shepard and she survived, but for me it was Liara. Every other character except for Joker is missing from that initial section.
Yeah.
And I just feel like not having this reintroduction kind of makes me go like, wait a minute, Rex is doing what now? And I guess we'll see more of that later, but you know.
Yeah. I love that Garrus disappeared a few months after Shepard was declared dead. Even Cerberus haven't been able to locate him.
Well, now he doesn't have Shepard's Spectre status by association.
Yeah, so I guess he's just, I mean, he's probably snapped and started, like, going on a killing spree.
I think he's the Green Beret that Sarah Connor was dating at one point in Terminator 2.
Absolutely he was. I'm a revolutionary. What's my revolution? A revolution from laws.
We're advised to go do Morden Solus. So we're going to do two recruitment missions per
Yes.
episode, unless they prove to be longer. I agree. Let's do Morden Solus. And then I think there's like one other that's in Omega. So let's just do the
Archangel.
Omega introduction. Yeah.
Archangel's in Omega.
Let's do Archangel and Morden. There's also one of the DLC characters you can recruit there, but I don't think it's a loyalty mission. I think for the DLC characters, you just walk up to them and recruit them.
Yeah, you do. The loyalty
They'll have
missions.
loyalty missions later.
Yeah, they
Which is when we'll
will
do
only
this.
get one episode each. I mean, I think we could do their loyalty missions now because they are basically their recruitment missions too, I would argue.
That's true. Maybe we'll
'Cause
do
for-
those as a follow-up episode then.
For both, it's like this is how you recruit these characters. Like, yeah, they're on your team and you can immediately play with them, but like to get their trust or like anything really from them, you need to do these missions.
Yeah.
You need to do that for all of the characters, but like for them it's pretty immediate, and I would argue kind of the meat of their character.
Yeah. And so we meet back up with our new pilot, Joker.
Yes,
Voiced
like-
by fellow Philadelphian Seth Green.
absolutely. And this is the new Normandy SR2.
And
A
it's
big-
better in every way than the first
Yes,
one.
Absolutely. You've
I got a new ship. What can I say? The Elusive Man bought me new Normandy.
You
know?
do get a swanky captain's cabin where you can collect fish and model ships.
It's awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a cool jacket. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wear a uniform. I'm Cerberus now. I'm just gonna wear a cool jacket. It looks great with my mohawk.
My Shepard is wearing a hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about the hoodie. I was definitely tempted by that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Being part of a Cerberus is cool.
Look, this is basically my Shepard finally going undercover with one of her Spectre assignments. She's enjoying it.
There's a lot more casual sex on the Cerberus ship than there was on the Alliance one,
For,
which is weird.
for sure. That's not weird. That is absolutely what happens in a
No,
cult.
it is perfect. It is actually, like I said, I just felt like as wacky as this game kind of starts in order to reset the table, I do think like once this by the time this opens up, I'm in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. No, it sells you on its premise very quickly, which is, hey, what if we were kind of like Han Solo in space?
Yeah. What if we made Shepard more Han Solo-y for the second game? And it's like, yeah, great, let's do it.
Awesome. Why didn't you just ditch Shepard? You could have just had this be a Han Solo character who has to work with Cerberus. Maybe you're a character whose family went missing, because of the
I feel like if Shepard
collectors.
had been killed at the beginning, and then you had to create a new character who was your Han Solo-y character, this would work a lot better for me.
I also feel like you don't need Shepard to die at the beginning. Shepard could have been taken by the collectors, and in the third game has like Prothean memories or some shit.
Yeah, or comes back as the villain now.
Yeah, know? Perfect as well.
Yeah.
I mean, my Shepard is the villain, ultimately.
My Shepard is the best person in this galaxy. Let me tell
you. You know what? Your Shepard just joined a human supremacist group because they gave him a swanky ship.
So that I could save the galaxy.
Yeah,
from a threat that only I perceive.
Yeah, a threat that only you perceive and only you.
And I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Of course.
I think I'm the best character in this galaxy.
My Shepard, to be fair, my Shepard doesn't think of herself as a villain. She thinks of herself as
Look, the true villain are politicians who don't do anything.
No, again.
And a hero is a soldier who gets things done, even if that means no longer being a soldier and joining up with Cerberus and becoming a little Han Solo-y.
My Shepard sees herself as an actor in the grand narrative of history, but not one with like a major role that everyone will notice. One with a substantial part, though, if you know how to look for it.
Totally.
Yeah. While of course knowing that part is what makes the whole thing tick.
Yes.
It's she's the lubricant of this whole galaxy, just making everything worse for most people, but better for the right people. And that's the kind of skill you can always take to the bank. And this I think will probably be the most fan fiction-y episode of the podcast for a while, because honestly the other missions will have more to analyze, but I feel like the story missions are very linear and narrative driven, and you can summarize it pretty quickly. So
this, for as much ground as we covered, it really wasn't as much to chew on. I think we're gonna end up having more to discuss. Like there's I didn't read every codex entry, because at a certain point I was like, this is too much, this is too repetitive on what I've seen. So I'm just gonna like glance through what is in my entry currently. But it's like been a lot of like stuff we already know, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm just kind of
I have found like interesting aspects to it, but yeah, I won't lie to you. I played this game weirdly.
Yeah.
Obsessively for a little bit.
I think I'm excited to finally get into like the full, game.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we can mess around in this one more, because honestly most of the side missions are pretty...
most of the side missions are missions, like that's the thing is this game is a little bit more open in that way and how you approach things. The thing we'll have to be careful is not accidentally doing the DLC missions, because most of those should be saved till after the game, I think, because that's how I remember playing them.
That's fair, although I don't know, the Project Overlord stuff kind of just bleeds right into the rest of it.
That's true. That one's the least important of the DLC from what I remember.
Yeah, no, like definitely we have to play Arrival last.
Yeah, Arrival was awesome. Gosh, I'm so excited for this game in a way that I'm this is based on my memory, so maybe we'll go in and I won't like it as much. I just already I feel more invested in the threat and what's happening here. You know.
Yeah, the threat of the collectors.
Yep.
Yeah, because they finally got what they wanted.
I mean, they killed me. I gotta get my revenge.
Yeah, exactly. They've achieved their aim. I'm gonna stop before this becomes actionable.
All right, let's go. And
let's
go.
That
was the first part of Mass Effect 2, and we'll be back for part 2, where we're gonna meet Morden and whoever this mysterious Archangel is.
Yeah, Archangel, a cool sounding character.
I imagine they'll be written by Chris Claremont, and will describe what their feelings and their backstory every time they talk.
Absolutely. I was more hoping for a character like the Crow, so I'm gonna just be eternally disappointed because there won't be a moody person in a black trench coat later.
No, that would be cool though.
I was joking, but about wanting a character like that.
I mean, I did, so I do want that still.
Oh.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.